Hi there, welcome to another Team Clueless Battle Report. We are playing, what's the mission today, Paul?
Cloak and Shadows.
We are playing Cloak and Shadows Maelstrom mission. Here is the table setup. It's really heavily populated table today. Loads of terrain, loads of line of sight blocking stuff. So you can see the table is mainly made up of these 3-story or 2-story, I suppose, blocks here in the centre. We play that you can go up these by spending 3 inches of movement to go up between the levels, just because that makes it nice and easy. These big tall things are impassable, similar to that one over there and such. And then you can see we've got a few odd bits of area terrain scattered around. Objective-wise, what have we got? Objective 1 up there. Down here is Objective 4. Inside here is Objective 5. Over here, Objective 3. Objective 6 is up here. And down here on the floor is Objective 2. This mission is length of table and length of table. We haven't rolled to see which side we set up yet, so we'll do that in the intro video. And let's see what armies we are bringing. I am bringing Chaos Daemons and Chaos Space Marines, and Paul is rocking the new Eldar. You're playing an Eldar war host?
Yeah, that's right. A craft world war host.
So we'll see if the internet rumours are true, or whether the Eldar are just going to die to the demons. So the Chaos Force today consists of the Warlord is a level 3 to each Herald on disc. He's got an Exalted Gift, and it's a book. What a shock. He has another level 3 friend on disc. They have 9 Screamers to go around with. Troop choices, we have 20 Demonettes, no upgrades, and 11 Pink Horrors, no upgrades. We have 10 Fleshhounds of Khorne. They're led by a Khorne Herald on Juggernaut. He's got a Greater Gift, which has given him It Will Not Die and +1 wound. He's got an Axe of Khorne. And he's got the special power that lets him re-roll, him and his unit re-roll all attacks to hit rolls in the first round of close combat. We have 2 Soul Grinders. One is Nurgle with the Phlegm Bombardment power, and one is Slanesh with the Torrent Flamer power. The Chaos Space Marines are from the Crimson Slaughter supplement. They are led by the hardest working man in the Chaos side of the Great Divide. He has got the Demon Heart armor on, which gives him his 2+ armor save. He's got an Axe of Khorne, sorry, not an Axe of Khorne, a Power Axe. He wishes he had an Axe of Khorne. And he's got a Sickle of Corruption. He runs around with some Nurgle Spawn. He also has a Mark of Nurgle, obviously. There are 2 Nurgle marked Obliterators, and there is a squad of Cultists with no upgrades. And that is the Chaos half in their allied detachment. Special powers, special abilities and spells wise, we have rolled up for spells, and I basically have loads of summoning stuff across the whole army. Both of these guys have kind of like trip summoning powers. This guy has summoning and I think 5 to each. I think one of those might have Dark Flame, is the only non-summoning power that I've got. So you'll just be seeing me summon loads of stuff, hopefully. Fingers crossed if Paul doesn't cancel them out. Let's see what is in the Eldar army.
Okay, so as we discussed, I'm trying out this new Craft World Warhost way of making your army. So I had to take a Guardian Warhost in order to get things started, which means I've got the Fart here. He'll be leading the army. He's got the Warlock power, the Warlord power that allows me to re-roll the dice to see how many victory points I get from my objectives. And then you have to take 3 units of Guardians. So I had to buy another unit of Guardians. So well played, Games Workshop. Well, so
I think you're reading their mind, Paul.
I think they've got no heads at the moment because I just started constructing them yesterday. And then my longer-standing 2 units, because I get free weapon upgrades, they've all taken the Eldar missile launcher as their weapon platform, and they've all got a Warlock with them. I also had to take a Viperjet bike, so I've got this thing which I've dusted off and taken out of deep storage.
Has that ever been used before?
I don't think I've ever seen play, certainly not in any of these videos. I don't know if we've ever played it. I also had to take some Warwalkers, but I'm happy to do that because they're really nice. And an artillery battery, which again I'm also happy to take. I've taken 3 vibro cannons. Obviously the Warwalkers have got scatter lasers. And the vibro cannons have got a Warlock minding them as well. So that's my mandatory stuff. That came to 835 points. Then on to stuff I can actually choose. So I've got an Aspect Host with +1 weapon skill. So that is my Striking Scorpion squad with an Exarch with Scorpion's Claw. My Howling Banshee squad with an Exarch with an Executioner. And then I didn't actually own a third Assault Aspect Warrior squad. So I've got some nice weapon skill 5 Dire Avengers. Also with an Exarch with no upgrades. I took a second Aspect Warrior host because I'm trying to be a bit fluffy Bealtan. So these ones have got +1 ballistic skill. So I'm trying out the new Dark Reapers with Exarch with Tempest Launcher. I've got a unit of 7 Fire Dragons with an Exarch with a Fire Pike, and a unit of 9 Swooping Hawks with an Exarch with no upgrades. And then to round things out, I took one of the Living Legends, which allowed me to take the Avatar of Cain. So we're seeing how he goes now. His bubble is improved, so it seems pretty good for a foot force. So hopefully all these restrictions will be outweighed by my amazing always run 6 power and some of the other benefits you get from taking these formations. Okay, so we've set up, playing 2,000 points, in case we forgot to mention that earlier. So I will be going first, unless Mike can steal in a moment.
Fingers crossed. It is a video, so it seems likely.
Yeah, I've taken this end of the table. Avatar deployed front and centre. Just slightly in front of him, some infiltrating, striking scorpions, using their new shrouding rule. They're backed up by basically the whole of this war host. We've got 3 units of Guardians abreast. Dire Avengers on the left, Fire Dragons on the right, and then behind them the unit of Howling Banshees. And then further back we have the Vipers hiding out with the Vibro Cannons, and the Dark Reapers have deployed on the objective. Still in reserve we have some outflanking Warwalkers and some deep striking Swooping Hawks. Mike has got his Chaos Lords unit over here in the Demonettes. And then moving across, he has his big unit of Screamers, and further across still, there's one Soul Grinder. You can't quite make
One's
out.
under here.
You'll just have to believe us that there's one down here somewhere. Yeah, there he is. And then further back, the Pink Horror Squad, and still in reserve, he has his Deep Striking Obliterators and some Cultists who'll be coming in from his board edge. So last thing to do before we kick off is see if Mike can steal the initiative.
Come on, 6. Daddy needs a 6.
What the hell?
It's a 6. Literally one video is a 6. Brilliant.
Okay, let's see what happens after Mike's turn 1.
End of Demons, turn 1. Pretty good turn. I didn't kill any of Paul's models, but other than that, it was a good turn. So after I stole the initiative, I then basically moved forwards. Paul's army's got kind of like a sweet range spot of about 12 inches, which is obviously my charge, since I have to get inside his range before I can assault him. So it's just I'm just going to take a turn of fire. Stealing the initiative was obviously very helpful. Screamers have moved forward over here. Fleshhounds are on the floor. Demonettes have moved up there. Chaos Spawn have moved down there. What else? Soul Grinder has sprinted forward here, and the Soul Grinder under there, he unleashed a Phlegm Bombardment over here, hitting 3 of the Dark Reapers. Unfortunately, I only wounded once, which was a bit poor, and Paul made his 5-up cover save, so that was good for him. He wanted to go to ground, but he realised he was too close to his avatar, who said, "No, stay in the fight, Exarch," and he couldn't. Up here, Psychic Power Dice. I rolled for 4, so I had 12 dice to use this turn. The guy at the back here, this model down here, first of all, he sacrificed some of his own essence to summon his twin, which was this guy who's a level 1 version of himself. He has scattered back here. He has come in and he has, I think, got summoning as well. That's his Psychic Power, and the Tzitz Fire one. And then the guy up here decided to cast Possession on himself and turned himself into a Lord of Change. So he was quite nice. He summoned a replacement and a greater demon that turn. So that was all good in the hood. Then we came to the Walkstorm table. I rolled double 6, got a 3 unit of lesser demons. So I chose Plague Bearers because I had the painted models to hand. They managed to do a really risky deep strike back here. Basically, they're going to come in and try and disrupt stuff. So they have landed there, did pinpoint accurate deep strike, and now we're just going to challenge Paul to see how we can deal with them. Other than that, my turn, done.
Okay, so the first Eldar turn. So let's see what happened here. So there was these Plague Bearers down here. I turned my Dark Reapers and used my Tempest Launcher. Managed to get some direct hits on there, which decimated them quite badly. And then my Viper managed to finish them off. This freed up the Vibro Cannons to take shots at the Soul Grinder you can see there. Well, you could if it was focusing on the right thing. But we didn't do anything to them because we only managed to get 1 hit. All these Guardians ran forward 6 inches, but have subsequently ran back 6 inches. And we did some wounds over here, and we did quite a lot of wounds on these doggies. The Fire Dragons also came up to the lip and fired down on the doggies, doing quite a lot of instant death wounds.
Yeah, I think they killed maybe 4 of them.
And the Avatar chucked his spear in to do another one, and then they've retreated back over the lip again. The Dire Avengers popped up and tried to take advantage of the fact that Mike's book wasn't working this round. I think they killed 2.5 discs.
Killed 2, yeah.
Did they win one?
They did. This one's wounded, the metal
Yeah.
one.
And then they've retreated back a little bit, but obviously they're not getting out of the way of jet bikes. They're far too fast. And then the last thing we did was we charged forward with the striking scorpions and attacked these demonettes. Because of the bridge, I didn't actually get to throw as many attacks as I would have wanted to, so I managed to kill 4. I lost 1 on the counter attack, and so then Mike lost another 5 to his leadership check. So 9 demonettes died this round. So in the objective scoring phase, I was lucky enough to get objective 3. Like 2 copies of secure objective 3, so I scored both of those, and I have discarded my third one, which was destroy a unit in assaults during my turn.
Also, just to mention, you got first blood last turn because of my herald sacrificing himself to turn himself into a Lord of Change.
So first blood puts me to 3 victory points in total. Mike probably get on the scoreboard this turn, I imagine.
Chaos turn 2. So this turn we basically sprinted forward a lot more. The Screamers, you'll see, have moved down to that level. The Chaos Lord and his spawn have moved up into the Guardians. The Hounds and the Herald moved up a level and moved into the Farseer. And the Soul Grinder under here has moved forward and engaged the Guardians. I'll go through what happened in their close combats in a moment. In the Psychic phase, my Lord of Change, who had moved over to here to be central to the army, cast the Cursed Earth, giving all my demons and Paul's avatar within range +1 invulnerable save, which was pretty nice. The guy I summoned last round has basically moved over to here. He couldn't quite get with the Screamer squad, as they wanted to push forward, so he's going to be a late game objective grabber. The Cultists have come on the back to help the Pink Horrors with their objective, and pinpoint deep striking from the Obliterators landing them on objective 6. They chewed up the Dark Reapers with the assault cannons. The Dark Reapers failed their rerollable leadership 9 and are sprinting for the board edge, but I suspect they will rally. Other stuff in the Psychic phase, I shot the Avatar with a couple of Pink Fires of Tzitz from the Lord of Change and the Herald in the Screamer squad, and he took 2 wounds, I think. The Screamers then charged in. I'd used the book to give myself a 2-up rerollable save. We use the frontline gaming rules where you can only reroll it, and then it's a 4+ afterwards, so it's not total invulnerability. They managed to put a wound on the Avatar, and he failed to wound them back. The Soul Grinder underneath has run forward, engaged the Guardians. They're fearless because of the Avatar, but he's killed a couple of them, and he can't really be hurt back. The Witchblade can do something. The Chaos Lord and his spawn obliterated a squad of Guardians, and the gods blessed the Chaos Lord with his wound back, which he had taken earlier in the game. Up here, the Khorne Herald went through most of the Fire Dragons with his Axe of Khorne, and Hounds killed 1 extra one, I think. They're still locked because, again, the Farseer is fearless. The Avatar is doing a really good job at bolstering Paul's army here, although I think he'd like to run away with some things. Over here, the Demonettes got rinsed by the Striking Scorpions. I think 2 Scorpions died, but all of the Demonettes died. But they didn't get to run very far. And I think that was everything that happened. Can't think of anything else. So, on to Paul's turn. I've got to add, I actually scored an objective this turn. I control objective 3. Ooh. And objective 4 down here, I believe.
Eldar turn 2. Unfortunately, neither of our reserves came in this round, so the Warwalkers and the Sweeping Hawks are still mysteriously otherwise engaged, leaving us a bit beleaguered. If you recall, that the Obliterators leapt down here. We managed to take care of those with a combination of Jinx from this Warlock, giving them a 3+ armor save, and then a charge from the Howling Banshees. Unfortunately, the Howling Banshees failed their fear check, so that's another rerollable leadership 9 check I failed this round in this game. But we still just about managed to get there, even with weapon skill 1. So the main battle is taking place around objective 6 and objective 3. These Guardians managed to, and this Viper managed to kill some more Chaos Spawn, so the Chaos Lord has now only got 3 Chaos Spawn left, and they're all wounded, but he's okay because he regained a wound from something. What did I back and wound?
He gained a wound from winning a challenge.
That was it, yeah. He regained the wound that he'd taken earlier. And then the Guardians backed up, but I fear I'm going to have to lose that Guardian squad to him next round. The Striking Scorpions doubled back and attempted to save the beleaguered Farseer. They managed to put 2 wounds on this Bloodletter and killed one of the dogs. Did I kill a dog? No, I didn't kill a dog, did
You
I?
did kill a dog with your Mandy blasters.
Oh yeah, that's right. So that was it, and then I lost my Exarch and another two guys, losing the combat by one, but I'm fearless, so that's fine. The Avatar and the 2+ rerollable discs, just not discs, screamers just wailed on each other, neither of them able to hurt each other. The Dire Avengers got guided and tried some cheeky shots on the Lord of Change. Managed to get 5 hits after the guide reroll, but didn't manage to do a wound or force a grounding check. So I managed to hold the line. Taking those obliterators meant that there was nothing within 12 inches of my deployment zone, which puts my score up to 4. So the scores after turn 2 are 4 plays 2.
Chaos Demon turn 3, so reasonably simple turn this time. These guys sat at the back as usual. This guy's skirted over here because I had secure objective 1 twice, so he's gave me 2 VPs there this turn. Going forwards, this Soul Grinder here shot all over here, wiped out 4 Howling Banshees, but forced them to go to ground and forced the Dark Reapers to go to ground, so really nice result there. The combat under here, no wounds were taken either side. The combat down here, 1 wound and 1 glance were exchanged, so nothing happened there with a fearless damn bubble. Over here, this squad really whiffed. Paul's mesh armour coming to his rescue, but I quite like being locked in combat there, so that's nice. Up here, my Chaos Lord managed to kill the Warlock in close combat, and got granted Eternal Warrior by Corns, but it's no use. There's nothing here that can instant death him because he's in toughness 6. But that's nice down there because I had one of my victory conditions was kill a Psyker, so I killed his Warlock, so that's gave me another VP. Up here, it was a bit of a slapfest. Didn't really do much. I challenged and I'm locked in combat with a Farseer whose fortune is helping protect him, so I didn't do any wounds there, but Paul only did 1 wound back to a dog. And I made my instability check, so I'm okay up there for the moment. Any other combats going on? Don't think so. Let's see if Paul's reserves come in.
Eldar turn 3. Again, the Warwalkers failed to show, which was a bitter blow. Over here, all our guys got back up to on their feet after the Snots landed last round. Our Swooping Hawks managed to arrive. They landed here and grenade packed the cultists who were right at the back of the table, killing some. 4 of them, I think. But they survived their leadership check, so they're still there. And then they gunned down the Herald of Tzitz, who was scoring all those points on that objective over there. So that was a good job. In the psychic phase, we stripped this Nurgle thing of its shrouding and guided the vibro cannons, who then had some shot through there at the aim. You can just about make them out, I think. You might not be able to make them out on the camera. And they all hit. So we got the las cannon hits. We did 1 or 2 glancing hits. 2 glancing hits.
Oh yeah,
but one of them was a save. So we dealt 1 glancing hit to both of the big soul grinders now. In this combat up here, we managed to take out the last doggy, and somehow the Chaos Lord didn't manage to kill the Farseer, despite my fortune being stopped this turn. The Avatar had a good go. He finally managed to beat the rerollable 2+ armor save, and didn't get hit in return. And then Mike rolled an 11 on his demonic instability, losing 2 more models, so that squad lost 3.
One day I'll be able to hurt the bastard with my warp jaws.
And the Dire Avengers continued pouring shurikens down into the Lord of Change, but we didn't. We managed to get a wound, but it made his invulnerable save. So that was that. We then scored objective 2 twice, so pretty lucky getting that one again. So that gives me 2 more points, putting my score up to 6, and Mike has a score of 5. So I'm just holding on to the lead.
Demon turn 4 was not a good turn this turn. So over here, these guys spread out a bit. During the psychic phase, I managed to get off Cursed Earth again, and I also got off the 46 shooting attack power from the Lord of Change. Unfortunately, he rolled abysmally to wound, and abysmally for his number of attacks. He only managed to kill 4 Dire Avengers, even though he ignored their armor save. So that wasn't particularly favourite. The Avatar fight, I finally managed to deal him a wound after all these rolls. I finally got one on him, and he didn't manage to win me back, which is good, because the instability is killing me. Down here, the Soul Grinder took out the final Guardian and is now free to get shot at by Paul. But hopefully he'll survive. Being a Soul Grinder, he's pretty boss. Over here, the Chaos Lord and his spawn managed to take out the remaining 3 Guardians and have consolidated onto the area terrain. So they're hoping they might survive. The Lord Change has gone to ground over here, so he has now landed. And, well, I suspect he's going to get chopped up because, as you can see, the Corn Herald died. The bloody Mandy Blasters. I was in a challenge with this Farseer for 3 turns, and any of my hits instant death him, but I just couldn't get through his invulnerable save. And now the Mandy Blasters just came to the rescue because they got initiative 10. Really strong. Highly recommend taking the Striking Scorpions. They've gone through many, many points this game. What else have we got? I don't think I've really got much else left. No, Tezerod is dead, and that was my turn. I didn't score any objectives this turn, which was also another sore point. Over to Paul.
Okay, end of turn 4. So the Warwalkers finally came on. They came on over here and marched forward and promptly shot that Soul Grinder in the back that had eaten its way through the Guardian squad, taking it out. The other Soul Grinder fared no better as my Sweeping Hawks landed next to it and charged in and threw a load of Haywire grenades, taking it out. What else happened?
Killed a Chaos Spawn.
Over here we killed a Chaos Spawn with I shot the Dire Avengers, the Fire Dragons, the Hang Banshees, the Dark Reapers, the Farseer and the Fire Dragon.
They had their foot in cover.
And we killed one of them, which was already on 1 wound, so that wasn't terribly exciting. And then in Assault, we managed to kill 2 of the Screamers. He made his demonic instability, but they're down to 2 Screamers and the Warlord who keeps refusing challenges. So who knows? Maybe one day that battle will resolve itself. I didn't manage to score any objectives on this turn, which means the scores at the end of turn 4 are 6 to me and 5 to Mike. He still has a chance to get back into this game.
Demon turn 5, it's touch and go. So this turn, the Pink Horrors, who had been hiding at the back of the table, went a heroic run up this ramp. They're conga lining all the way, so they're still scoring this objective behind here. They conga lined up here, leapt up top with a 5-inch run and got within 3 inches of objective 1, scoring me a point. The Lord of Change, who is now happily wandering around on the floor, he moved forwards, tried to psychic blast the Striking Scorpions out of existence, but they managed to deny the witch, so he went in there and did the dirty work with his claws. He took 1 Mandy Blaster wound in return, but then slaughtered the squad, skipped backwards and held that objective, and I scored 2 points because I had 2 different cards for that one. So 3 points scored by me this turn. The Chaos Lord on his bike somehow managed to scale the side of this building. I think he did some kind of trick jump. And has engaged Paul's general. I'm really hoping to get the Slay the Warlord point from him. I did him 1 wound. He's got Fortune on his runic armor, so he's pretty hard to kill. The Avatar fight, nothing really happened, and I have no other units left. So I don't have much left, but most of it's locked in combat, and I'm now ahead 8-6. So if Paul doesn't get at least 2 points this time, then it could well go to me. Over to Paul.
End of Eldar turn 5. This is really a nail-biter. So this round, I'm desperate to try and secure objectives and deal damage. So my Dire Avengers had to foolishly charge into the fray down there. We managed to do 1 wound to a disc. No, I couldn't call them discs. 1 wound to a Screamer. And lost 1 Dire Avenger back. So that was a tied combat. Over here we had another tied combat. The Farseer managed to do a wound to the Chaos Lord, but he managed to do a wound back. So that was tied. We managed to kill the Lord of Change with shooting from the deadly Warwalkers. And the Banshees were racing to try and secure that objective, but they're 1 inch along or 3 inches up away from being able to claim it.
Yeah, move through cover failed them, didn't it?
Yeah, we only moved 3 inches on the move through cover. So I scored a point. Oh, sorry, the Sweeping Hawks came over here and attacked some Pink Horrors. There's 2 up there, and then the rest of them are below. You see them? Yeah. And we only managed to kill like 3 or 4 Pink Horrors.
Yeah, I went to ground.
And we managed to secure this objective, which I had as a card. So I scored secure objective 1, giving me a point, bringing my total up to 7. But Mike scoring 3 last round means that he's still on 8. We've both got line breaker. So if the game ends now, it'll be a win by 1 to Chaos. So let's see, on a 1 or a 2, the game is over with a win for Mike.
No! I feel that's going to be bad.
Let's see how we go on turn 6.
Demon turn 6. So very quickly, I was on 8, Paul was on 6, but obviously he has such massive numerical advantage on me, if I can just give you that, Paul, because he's dead, that I had to do a bit of a Hail Mary this game. So not that it's important, because I suspect I'm going to be losing after Paul's turn. So the 2 objectives I had this turn that I could do was kill a character in close combat and control 3 objectives on the table. I control this one down here. I've got 2 objective secure squads on it, so that's quite safe. My pink horror's gone to ground, so they can't run up and objective securely take that. Over here, I was locked in combat with the Avatar, with my Screamer squad and my General, but I failed my book. And with the Lord of Change dead, I didn't have Curse left, so I had a 6 up invulnerable, so I had assumed that squad would die. My Warlord is in close combat with Paul's Warlord, so the plan was kill Paul's Warlord in close combat, gain a Warlord point, and gain the point for killing a character. Unfortunately, you can see this bit went wrong because I failed to kill Paul's Warlord. I got 4 hits, which is awesome, but I got 2 wounds, 2 ones on the wound roll, and Paul's got Fortune up, so getting a wound past 4 up rerollable is not particularly easy. So he is still up. But the Screamers have managed to survive in there somehow, even though the Herald who is leading them, my Warlord, decided to sacrifice himself and become Lord of Change. You may think that's not the best plan because I give Paul a Warlord point for it, but I was aiming to get the D3 objectives. I summoned a squad of 10 Plague Bearers, tried to put them down on that objective there. I only threw 4 dice, got 3 successes, but they've scattered into the centre of the board, so they're probably not going to do anything. I then threw my remaining 5 dice at possession and turned myself into a Lord of Change. I summoned over here and he then ran over to there, or did the flying equivalent of run to control that objective. So I had 2 objectives, but I couldn't quite get that one with either of the 2 things I attempted to do it with. So I didn't score any points a turn, actually gave Paul a point. So my Hail Mary, it looks like it will fail. Let's see how Paul's turn goes.
Eldar 10-6, a very effective turn for us, pretty quick. We tried to fire a bunch of stuff at the Swooping Lord of Change, but didn't manage to do it. The Howling Banshees managed to come up and claim this objective. The Avatar finally managed to finish off those Screamers that have been fighting all game, and the Dire Avengers scored that objective. And we shot a whole lot of pink horrors over here. There's one still behind that silo over there. So I managed to score that objective and that one and that one and this one over here, which means I was scoring 3 objectives for D3 victory points. I was scoring twice as many objectives as Mike for D3 victory points, and I also managed to manifest 3 psychic powers with Fortune, Guide, and Conceal on the Vibro cannons. So 3 D3 victory points for me this round. I managed to turn that into 5 victory points, putting me to 13, playing Mike's 8. So the game's going to finish on a 1, 2, or 3 with a victory for the Eldar.
Oh,
we get to turn 6 to see whether we can.
Shall we call it anyway? Because I don't think I can get back in it.
Do you want to see what your cards are?
I've got 2 of my cards already,
okay.
and I can't do them anymore, I don't think.
Okay, well, let's call it there then.
As it's getting reasonably late.
Sure thing. That was a really good game.
That was. It was touch and go. I feel your Avatar charging in there I thought was a good idea, but possibly not because of the weapon skill 10. I was hitting him on 5s and then wounding him on 5s, and I just didn't get. I got 1 wound to him all game.
And you were also buffing his invulnerable save, although it didn't come up too much.
Didn't come up, but and he was anchoring the whole backfield here.
Yeah,
all
he
the
did an
combats
amazing
I went
job.
in, I wasted extra turns.
Yeah, so your Soul Grinder took ages to get through the Guardians.
Yeah, the Chaos
Even your
Lord
Chaos
stuck
Lord,
down there.
you had to fight Guardians for like 3 combat phases.
Yep, he was amazing.
Yeah, and the Striking Scorpions did amazingly as well.
Yeah, they were fantastic. The Mandy Blasters, it seems like such a simple rule, but the fact that it goes on initiative 10, doesn't need to roll to hit and wounds anything on a 4+, it's just here,
really
have some
nice.
extra wounds in.
Yeah.
Especially because I didn't have particularly good saves. I was going on lots of 5-up or 4-up invulnerables, so they were just stacking wounds on.
But it was really close, and we were both in it right up until the last turn.
Yeah, that's it. I could have. I was winning at the end of turn 5, and I could have won it turn 6, but it wouldn't have ended anyway. So you were constantly going up. I think once the Warwalkers came in, the fact they stayed off the table was really good for me because they kill anything in my army that they shoot at.
Yeah, but they had to get in the rear arc of the Soul Grinders, but other than that, they can do a number on pretty much anything.
Your damn Farseer and his Fortune.
Fortune Farseer did amazingly. He was stuck in a combat with a Juggernaut with Corn Herald, and then he was stuck in a combat with the Chaos Lord, and he's still got 1 wound left at the end of the game.
Yep, just couldn't get him up. I would have felt a personal victory if I'd have killed him, but couldn't quite manage it.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with all the performances of my units. Vibro Cannons didn't do much.
They're kind of anti-vehicle, aren't they? I had 2 really tough vehicles that get saves and such, so...
I was very pleased that the Dark Reapers did some nice things, because I really like Dark Reapers and they've been rubbish for 3 editions.
I think all the aspects were really good.
Yeah. Yep. Can't really fault the Hang Banshees and the Dark Avengers are kind of cheapo ones anyway, so they did pretty well for their points costs, I think. Warwalkers still amazing.
Swooping Hawks are fantastic.
Amazing.
The fact they can kill any target you want them to kill.
Yeah. Fire Dragons did what they were supposed to do. Good stuff. Interesting new codex. I don't know if I'll always play with this war host rule because it's very restrictive on what army you can take. But it was interesting to see. I really enjoyed just having run 6 every round.
I think that also saves a fair bit of time. The fact you're not rolling for your run dice every time.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was really good. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. The fact you didn't take any jet bikes, obviously, and there's no D weapons in your army, so they're the so-called broken units. But finally, into the rest of it, they're all good units, which is a sign of a good codex, really. You don't want any units that are pointless. Even your Viper jet bike was pretty good.
Yeah, not bad for a little. He was basically free because he came. The thing I took him with meant all my weapon platforms were free, and they cost about as much as a Viper.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good stuff.
Excellent. Thanks for watching, everybody.
See you next time.